Very exciting video today. We're going to do a full recap on everything important that happened this week because we had Comic-Con, we had Mysterio coming to the game, and a lot of people are asking the question on Reddit, is Mysterio good? And there is a team where he's good, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the data mine. We're going to talk about the developer response to the Gamma Raid. We're going to talk about the Blaster Challenge. And most importantly, we're going to talk about San Diego Comic-Con because we have a in-person... Come on in. Who do we got? We've got the infamous Casino straight back from San Diego Comic-Con. Tell me what happened over there. It was hype?
It was pretty hype. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of Marvel stuff.
Yeah. What did you get to see?
So the new Avengers A-Day had a booth, so I got to check out Square Enix's new game. Marvel Insider had a bunch of stuff, so I saw like a bunch of the actors from Far From Home on stage, and I looked for group codes, but there was nothing MSF this year. Sorry, guys. Got recognized for the first time ever.
Tell me about that, because that's always kind of a fun thing when you get recognized, right?
So I was accidentally a giant dick to the person. I didn't mean to. So what happened was someone had messaged me from Discord and wanted to meet up. So we went and met up, and then we were walking, and as we were walking, someone else came up and was like, "Hey, is that Casino?" And the person I was with turned around and was like, "Yeah." I just assumed that person was with the person I'd already met up with. Like, I thought they were a group, so we kept walking, and I turned around and I was like, where'd that guy go? And my friend was like, I don't know that person.
I was hoping it would be something memorable, like something kind of exciting happened the first time that you get recognized in public is usually kind of a big deal, and then you didn't even know that it happened, and then you moved on. Well.
I accidentally kind of power walked away from the person.
The footage that you see behind is me being very frustrated with Mysterio, and you can see that I'm quitting the battle and exiting out, and that was a lot of people's experience. I know that came up on Reddit. Before we talk about Mysterio and this team that you found, and we've had mixed results, you went 4 in a row working, then you went 3 in a row not working, and then you just went 3 in a row working, so it was kind of a funny thing. The login calendar for next week, and they're also going to do some milestone rewards. How's that going to work?
I assume that it's going to be similar to the Captain Marvel. So they went live very briefly. I didn't get to see them, but some people were talking about them. So they're going to be like the Captain Marvel milestones, but they're going to be tougher.
Right. So there's a 100 shard unlock. So what do we got here? Is that 55. Enough for 55? And it's a 100 shard unlock, guys. So we'll have to see how the milestones. I bet you they're going to make it a slight stretch. But anyways, the question, is like, I bought him for $50 and plus I upgraded him and I was a little bit, and then, I think this Reddit post kind of explains how I was initially thinking is I'm missing something about Mysterio. He's basically Mortal, but not as good. And we saw the footage with Vulture and you looked at it a little more closely than I did. And it looks like Vulture is a lot, is fast, a lot of turn meter manipulation, kind of makes the team work. Yeah. What can you say about the testing with the team that we tried? How many times we reshot that video 5 times, we gave up on it or something, or 4 times and gave up on it?
Well, I blame your setup. When I do it on my phone, I don't think I've lost them on my phone. There's something about your PC.
It's your BlueStacks. We were doing it on BlueStacks, so it should have worked. But anyways.
Yeah, no, just we were running Loki and Kingpin, and Daredevil would dodge the defense down. Only when we did it here. I blame your setup.
Talk about Kingpin with Mysterio, and talk about Mysterio with Loki, why that works.
They're good in a pinch team. You've got the villain synergy, so all the assists, and a Mysterio assist is awesome because it'll remove debuffs. And he's got summoners. You got the 2-turn defense up and a round of offense up, which is great, especially because the way it times out, if you use the special on Mysterio first, you get to ult with the offense up, so it's a nice offense stuff AoE. And then with Loki, you have the turn meter that Mystic Controllers get. Mysterio is a Mystic Controller. He lowers enemy resistance, which really helps Mysterio, who already has good focus. So, there's a lot of good interplay there. So, again, on my phone...
we have the footage playing right now so people can see it. The team does work. What would you say the % chance that it works well?
I'm giving it like 60% right now.
Okay, in 8. So we're talking about 8-3. Tier 8. So,
disclaimer, I have no tier 4s on that team. And so, like, Shocker, if you put tier 4s in his special and his ult, gets way, way, way better. So I do think with proper investment already, that team will be just fine against the defenders. But it doesn't much matter because Vulture's the next Blitz, and he's really the centerpiece of that team. But a quick note on Mysterio. There's something about Mysterio that a lot of people are overlooking. I don't think Mysterio does much to really change the Sinister Six's odds against the defenders. I think they're fine without him.
Right.
Actually, we got footage.
I know where you're going with this. You're talking about Spider-Verse against Shield, yeah.
Mysterio is really, really good for the Spider-Verse against Fury Shield teams.
Okay,
It
so
makes them more reliable.
there's some merits to Mysterio, and my guess is that with the big promotion and the hype that they put that whole trailer together, it probably works better with Vulture and or maybe a Legendary. I'm hoping for Doc Ock myself.
Same.
Let's go into the data mine. There's a lot of confusing information here in the data mine, which makes me scratch my head. The first one here is they're going to do a Red Star Orb featuring Mercenaries, where they're going to bump the drop rates for 4%. Because right now the drop rates inside of a Red Star Orb is just under 1%, because you're basically rolling the dice with 100 and something characters, excluding Ultron and Ultimus. And so they're going to. What's your thought? Deadpool, Killmonger, Bullseye.
Well, so I'll say this: Bullseye is just one of the worst characters in the game, and I regularly make fun of him for being terrible.
Right.
Deadpool and Killmonger are both well above average characters.
Yes.
They're both very, very strong, and both of them benefit more from Red Stars than almost any character, because with Red Stars, you get more health and more damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like Killmonger, the more health he has and the more damage he does, the more he can heal himself. And the more health he has, the more he can heal himself. So it feeds into itself. Same with Deadpool. His whole job is to do damage, but he heals for a percentage of his health on debuff. So the more health he has, the more he heals. So they both are really good characters to get Red Stars on. I don't know if I'm going to pop some Red Star orbs specifically for those two, but
I'm not going to get involved with this myself. I mean, Deadpool, you can't even take to 13 right now, which is another thing that doesn't make sense, because we're talking about a lot of stuff that does not really make sense. So they're going to bring some new characters to the Blitz, and this kind of made me scratch my head a little bit. I mean, I think this might help new players, but they're going to bring Night Nurse and Yondu, which back in the day, those characters made top 10 lists quite a bit. They've fallen off quite a bit, especially Yondu's fallen off quite a bit. What's your thoughts about that?
So I have an interesting theory on this. So I don't remember what node Night Nurse is on, but I know Yondu is on some early campaign nodes.
Right.
I think they're getting moved off of their early nodes, and they're going to get replaced by other characters.
To make room for somebody else.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, and then the other thing that we have to talk about is Okoye in Nexus. Currently not really available anywhere other than Orbs. Now she's going to be farmable. Being that if you do all 5 refreshes a day, what are you going to average, you think, per day? Just doing 1 refresh a day.
We've mapped it out, and it's somewhere around like 30 to 33% drop rate.
Yeah.
So if you do 5 attempts, you're probably going to get 1 hit.
Yeah, 1.5 hits. Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 to 3 a day.
And you're going to get 2 instead of 1 because the rate's double. Okay, so now we got to talk about your. We're going to talk a little bit about your interview with Cerebro. My understanding is you're going to go meet up with him tomorrow. That's going to be fantastic. This is from Cerebro right here. This is official response to alpha, beta, gamma boss nodes. And what are your thoughts about this? And what are your thoughts about this if the next time it runs around and this does not happen? Is what I first thought is like, they said it was unintentional that the gamma was overtuned. Do you really think that was? I mean, what are your thoughts about alpha? Plus, I'm going to say I'm not really a fan of alpha getting Black Panther all the time. It's kind of terrible.
I'm definitely hoping that the character changes, but I try to be mindful that there are people who want Black Panther and think he's cool and still need his shards. For me, people complained about the brawler orbs in Gamma, but at least that orb, I didn't mind that because that had some characters I actually wanted. Now it's easy to say just only put a character I want in there, but different people are at different stages of the game, so what can you do? But when it's just one character, it's either someone you need or you don't. So I prefer it's not BP, but with the difficulty, they admitted they overtuned it, but I'm sure from their perspective, they'd rather overtune it and then have to walk it back than undertune it. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out bad for them that everyone spent more on raid heals and raid energy. I don't think they're too broken up about it, but they understand that we were very unhappy about it, so they said that they're not going to do that going forward. But as far as actually changing who appears on the boss and mini-boss nodes, I do like that it at least gets a little update and keeps it fresh. I just don't like how much they cranked the health and damage and everything.
And so in your interview with Nick, he talked about maybe a new S-Guardian, which we're going to talk about Comic-Con and your experience at Comic-Con. We're also going to talk about maybe AIM. Are you doing anything special with AIM right now, or are you just leaving that alone for now?
I'm not powering up my AIM as of yet. I preach wide roster, so I'm always attending to them a little bit, and it's usually not too much trouble to give some upgrades to the people at the bottom of the roster. But
I've got all of mine at 5 stars. I'm pushing towards 6 is what I'm doing personally. Is I'm trying to get as close to 6 if there's some sort of weird legendary event.
Right.
Because we don't know if legendary events going forward are going to be 6 or going to be 5 stars. They could switch it up forever after the Phoenix event, you know. So I'm personally shooting for 6 stars on AIM. Do whatever you want. Who knows? We're going to get MODOK or whatever. It'll come out. Talk about Comic-Con.
Well, I do want to go on record. A lot of people think it's MODOK. As of recently, I've started thinking it's not MODOK.
Okay.
So we'll see. But MODOK's the obvious guess. But I've heard rumors and stuff. I don't know. I'm not thinking it's MODOK at this time. But we'll see.
Okay. And then he also talked about Iron Spider, Hulkbuster. He talked to. Did he mention Fat Thor, or what are they actually calling that version of Thor? Is there official variation of that Thor, or is that just a one-time thing for Endgame and they don't want to market Fat Thor?
Well, I'll tell you this. First off, Fat Thor...
Disgruntled Thor. What's the official name for him? It's not going to be Fat Thor.
Everyone I know calls him Thorbowski.
Thorbowski.
Yeah, Big Lebowski Thor.
Yeah.
But so, I know for a fact that Marvel Future Fight has a Thorbowski skin. So he's in at least one game.
What do they call the official skin? Because that has to be Marvel approved.
I don't know. I thought they just call him like Thor or Thor Endgame or something.
Thor Endgame.
I'll have to check. Yeah. I could be wrong. But anyway, I'll tell you this. I knew as soon as I saw Endgame that every heavy-set guy with a beard I know was going to be dressed as Thorbowski for Halloween and Comic-Cons and stuff. And I saw like 10 Thorbowskis at San Diego Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. So it's clearly very popular. And we've already got heroes in every shape and size, so now we have a legendary god of thunder for husky gentlemen.
Yes.
So
we got to talk about this. There was the big news at Comic-Con is that Natalie Portman is going to take on the role of Jane Foster, which is Thor, because and I can never say this right because everybody knows I butcher pronunciations of everything. I will always call Warmonger Killmonger, Warmonger. How do you say it? Mjolnir?
Close but no cigar. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Okay. And we'll come back to this because it's part of the giveaway, but we have to go to BlueStacks briefly. We have to go to BlueStacks because I just need to rant about this one more time. I hate this. I just absolutely hate this. I think this is pure trash right here. Tell me why this is trash right here.
So, it looks good on paper. You're like, all right, it's all the other rewards, and you get one superior
I have
catalyst.
1,500 of these.
Right. Well, so that's the first problem is those are actually incredibly common. For as rare as they appear here, we get them by the bucketful with every orange gear orb, and then the gear pieces need 300 of them.
Because this looks good to go from 8 to 12, but the thing is that means that you're getting none of these because you get either or, and I need these all day long, and basically tier 7 is better than tier 8.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. Do not do tier 8. Even, and this was hard to unlock. I had to use Falcon to unlock, and it was not an easy to unlock tier. Then you need to find out that this is just trash.
Yeah.
Look at that. Trash.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm like pulling these instead and getting 0 of these, which I need 10,000 of these. Probably you need about 500 per character, something like that, times how many characters. But you need hundreds of these. Yeah. So please, Foxnex, do not make this either or. Make this an and proposition. This is like negative progression. You finally beat tier 8. You get worse rewards. And I'm not able to get these other pieces. I'm basically forced to do tier 7. There's no reason for anybody to be doing tier 8 right now. That's terrible.
You know what would be a fun suggestion? Changing that to one random superior unique.
Well, that would be something. And I'm sure maybe they need to come up with tier 9 for that. So I'm playing on BlueStacks. There's a link in the description. Of course, I'm sponsored by BlueStacks. And then going back to the Jane Foster, we got to do the giveaway. You ready for the giveaway?
By all means.
Okay, so we're just gonna call Jane Foster Thor because when she gets the hammer, she becomes Thor. So it's Jane Foster Thor, right? Is what they refer to her, right? So I really hope you like this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star midriff Thor.
Awesome.
This is not a scam. What do you think about that?
I really like her laser gun Mjolnir. I definitely want to grab one of those.
Yeah, I mean, if they could change it to what they call it, the axe instead of the
Stormbreaker.
The Stormbreaker. Why can't they change it to
we need more Thors with laser
I'm really
guns.
happy that Natalie Portman's gonna do this because I remember the first Thor movie, right? It was like, oh, what happened to her, right?
Yeah,
all right, guys.
Second too.
Be sure to check out Casino at 1 o'clock Pacific time almost every day. most of the time.
If I'm not in San Diego,
Yeah, if you're in town, you're going to be doing it from here in a minute. So probably when this video goes live, you'll be live as well. So head over to Casino Stream, and as always, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.